Okay, that took a little bit longer than I expected it to. But it looks like I'm live now. So, oh, look, everything is brilliant. Okay, welcome. Hello, crafty friend. I am live. This is our first Wildcard Wednesday, and I'm super excited that you're here with me. If you have never watched me craft live, I have craft dice here today. I totally forgot to check the little poll that I did, but I've got actually mini craft dice. So they're in this cute little organza bag here. And if you've never seen craft dice before, I should probably make sure that I can see my comments here. Um, Give me a shout if you're watching, and hopefully I can see your comments. Anyways, if you've never seen craft dice before, they're a fun little tool that I make. I have 5 little dice, and these are the miniature ones. So they are just kind of pocket size, like a standard dice is, or die, I guess. There is one for what size card you're making, what colors you're using, a technique, a sentiment, and an embellishment. So we're gonna, oh, hello, I see comments. And they're not scrolling, so. Oh, I've got Lillian, I've got Maida. Brilliant. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna switch over so that you can see my desk, and we're gonna roll these, and then I'm gonna create with them. So I have nothing planned. I'm hoping to use some new products today, but we'll see what we come up with. So I'm gonna roll them all at once. So I have, a fancy fold card using Subtles, designer series paper, embossing, and a congratulations sentiment. So this is actually perfect. Though I guess technically it's not subtles, it's in colors because we've got that hand penned um, designer series paper that I will grab somewhere here. Um, where did I put it? And it is in some beautiful subtle colors. And miracle of miracles, we're doing a fancy fold class on this month. So you saw me roll. This is all random. So here are all the different papers from this. I would call those subtle colors, right? There's some in colors there as well. So let's make a fancy fold card with this. How about that? I really like this one here. So I'm going to use this one here. And I have a great fancy fold that I really like to do to show off designer series paper. So why don't we do that one? Let me just see if I can remember the instructions for it. I have them handy here somewhere just so that I get the measurements right. Hi, Kisha. Aha, I got it. Okay, I've got my instructions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this to 5 1/4, and I want to make sure that this on the back is the waves are going to be going this way. So I'm going to cut it to 5 1/4 if I get it the right way around. And I'd love to see what you make off of this prompt too. So grab some subtle colors, make a fancy fold card, and show me. All right, and now we are going to do some scoring. We're going to score at 4 inches. Oh, which one do I want on the bottom and which one do I want on the top? I think I want this to go, yeah, like this, right? So I want, yeah, the 4 inches. If you don't care which pattern shows, it's not as persnickety, but I care which pattern shows. So we've got 4 inches, then we've got 6 3/4. We're going to score at. When you're scoring designer series paper, you want to be nice and light with it. You can always be more aggressive and go again, but if you score too hard and go right through the paper, It's not going to be fun. Okay, and then 11.5, we're going to cut it. So that last one was at 9.5, and this is now at 11.5. Okay, so now we have our base scored here, and we're going to fold this. And I'm just going to kind of do the alternating valley fold, mountain fold here. Let me bring my comments back before I completely lose track. Hi, Denise. And I'm going to take my score lines and burnish them so that they're nice and crisp. This is actually not one of the cards from the hand pen fancy fold class. This is an extra one, so I may add it to the class though, because it would certainly suit, and we'll see how it turns out. All right, so we have our little fancy fold here. Now this is going to be on my card front, so I need to find some cardstock. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off of, should I do the pink or the blue and play off of that? I'm not quite sure. I still need to do some embossing too. So maybe I'll emboss the sentiment, or I could even emboss like the flowers or something like that. Any thoughts on the pink or the blue for a card base? Let me see if I've got anything kind of ready cut here. I've got some of the blue. Oh yeah, I like that. So what we're gonna do is we're actually just gonna cut the card front. So we're gonna cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We don't have to have the whole card be like open up again. Alrighty, so we're gonna glue this on here. Easy peasy. Like I said, this is a great fancy fold to show off designer series paper, because you're showing off both sides of the same sheet. Or if you've got a bunch of designer series paper to use up, you're using half a sheet on this, so it's a good way to use up some paper as well. So there is kind of the base of our card. And then I'm going to bring in some of this black twine because it kind of goes with it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it just yet. Or I can interpret my embossing differently and we'll do some pressure embossing instead. How's that? Let me just see if I've got an embossing folder that I like, that I want to use. Oh, I know which one. It's not a new one, but it's one that goes really well with this paper. Is our ornate one there. All right, so what we'll do is we'll emboss with this, and I'm going to do a bit of die cutting as well. Let me just find, we've got the penned florals. I want to find, there we go, the scalloped contours. These are both new dies that go really, really well together. If you haven't had a chance to play with them yet, it's well worth it. So let's find a smaller one to go on the front here, and then maybe a bigger one to go on the inside. Or what we can do for the inside too is we have this lovely border, which actually has the same kind of pattern as this rectangle. So we can do this, and then I'm going to do a piece of white for the inside here. Let me just grab a piece of basic white and my cut and emboss machine here. some of these little tags, reinforcements still on my plate here, so we'll get rid of those. And then what I want to do with my Whisper White here is I just want to cut off just a border so that I can adjust it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to use my washi tape on the other side here to line it up. I'm going to line it up with my washi tape on my plate, and then line this up with the other side of the washi tape so that everything is kind of straight and square. And we'll put this through. My machine facing the wrong direction, of course. We'll do this. All right. And then we can use this on the inside of our card. If I want to have less white showing, I just have to cut it off the other side. And I do. Where's my little trimmer? It's gone down here. As you can tell, I didn't even tidy up to do this. I am just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So there we go. So now we've got an extra little layer in there with that little bit of a white ruffle with the stitched edge. And that's going to give a little bit of variation to the inside of the card as well. There we go. And now this piece here, I'm going to cut this out of that same Midnight Muse. Of course, that piece isn't big enough. Or should I cut it out of vellum? I'm going to cut it out of vellum and then layer the Midnight Muse on top of it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. So we're going to do another. I'm liking how this card is turning out so far. The other fancy folds that we've got for the class, there's 6 of them. I'm going to be posting an event for that so that you can register for it soon. But there's 6 cards at least in that, and they're all fancy folds, all with this paper. It's a great kind of extra fancy cards class. Okay, and then we've got this. Maybe I will do some heat embossing actually. You know what? I think I do want to do some heat embossing. Now this one, I like to layer rectangles on top of these, and what I do to measure them is I just use my trimmer and I line it up to the edge there, and then the edge here. So this is 3 1/4 by 2 15/16. Say that 10 times fast. Sorry, 1 15/16. Just shy of 2 inches. And then I said 3 1/4, correct? And then that will layer very nicely into that vellum there. So now I'm gonna, maybe I will pressure emboss this after all. I don't know. We're just having fun, right? I want to do it this way. Straightish, not that it matters much with this folder. And then, oh, with this folder, which sandwich do I need again? So this is one of the thicker folders, right? So I need the specialty plate, which I've put somewhere. I was at one point organized, and then apparently I just completely lost it. I had a handy dandy place where I left all of my plates, and now I can't remember where I put them. Thought it was up here. Oh, up here. There we go. Maybe. Okay. Apparently, I have unorganized my organizing. What on earth? Did I just leave? There it is. Aha! It was hiding. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay. There we go. So now that is embossed. Let's get rid of this before I lose my mind again. And we will see. Thanks, Christina. I'm glad I'm not the only one that just completely loses her mind once in a while. I'm going to pop this up onto dimensionals here. Line it up. So there's our embossing. We've met that part of the roll. And then we can glue that on. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either glue this together and then glue this on, or you can leave this, but then you're going to have it show through on the back. So I don't want it to show through on the back. So I'm actually going to glue this flap down. If you wanted more space in your card, if you wanted to show off more of the designer series paper, you could totally leave that. And then it's just one less flap to open. And then I'm going to glue this all down. Now I don't want it to line up too closely with this because they're not exactly identical. So I want it to look like they're identical, but it's not actually. So there we go. And now I just need to put a sentiment on here, I think, and maybe a bow or two. So let's grab this. And what are we doing? We're doing congrats. Okay, so I've got my fancy fold, I've got my subtle colors, my designer series paper, oops, fancy fold, subtles, designer series paper, embossing, and so now we need to add congrats to this. So luckily the coordinating stamp set has a congratulations sentiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cheese out on this. I'm not going to make this too strenuous on myself. I'm going to just cut a banner. Do I have my world favorite punch handy? Of course I do. It's right here. I'm going to flag the end of this. And then I'm going to stamp that congratulations. And I'm just going to stamp it in black. So it'll go with that kind of black, it's not printing, it's, yeah, just the black outlines on the background. So I've got that, and then I've got my Memento black ink pad. We're just gonna go congratulations right on there. I don't like that. Paper has two sides. Let's get that straighter. There we go, that's better. And now I can just trim this to however big I want it. I want to leave a little bit of room to put a little bit of bling on there. That wasn't very straight. Let's use the trimmer. Not very good at cutting straight with scissors. There we go. So I'm going to pop this up onto dimensionals. Uh-oh, now I lost. Which one's straighter? That one? I think that one was straighter. We'll pop a couple dimensionals on here. And then what I can do is I can have it kind of overhang so that that lifts up. And then let's put something pretty and shiny, or you know what? Let's just do a bow. I'm gonna do a double bow. Use the last of my black twine here. And tie. So I've got my bunny ears around through. There we go. And then I've got my double bow. I'm just tightening it up a little bit so that it's a nice dainty little double bow. I'm sure Kara will be horrified with me, but she can recreate it with a giant bow. There we go. And then a glue dot on there. And I think that's pretty good. What do you guys think? So fancy fold, settles, designer series paper, embossing, and congrats. And that's what we came up with. I'm showing off both sides of that paper. So I will take a picture of that and post it so that you can post what you created with that inspiration. You can either case my card exactly or you can do something totally different. Yeah. Oh, I'll show you a couple of the other cards from the class. So this is not one of them. I may turn it into one of the class cards. This is another one that opens like that. Again, showing off some of that designer series paper. And I wrapped some of these up already. So again, there's going to be at least 6 cards in this class with this hand-penned paper, using that stamp set as well, and they all have some kind of 3D fold pop-up element to them. And so I'll post more information about that class. And that is my crafting for today. I will post the picture of the card and you can show me what you're going to make with this inspiration. That's all I got for today. Happy stamping! Bye!